Oh wait, sorry. I know it's wet. I'll wait for it. This is Alice Freeman is buried here. She is unmarked, so his name is known. Alice Freeman died at 16. The index, cemetery death index says morphine poisoning, but the newspaper story gives a different story. It caused the death of strychnine poisoning. She died on a Monday afternoon while using a telephone at 10th and Q Streets. And at first it was thought that she had died from heart disease. Testimony at the coroner's inquest revealed she had purchased, I'll step over here and complain louder. She had purchased the strychnine at the Ing and Alley drugstore on the pretense it was for killing rats. She ordered it by telephone. She had been employed as a domestic with a local family for a week, but it was a temporary job. And she couldn't get along with her mother, who had told her to leave home, and she was badly treated at home. So she took strychnine. And she's not the only person that's taken terrible things. Actually, there's several people that have taken drugs and poisoned themselves in this cemetery that you're standing in. Let me tell you what. James Bilka. James Bilka was found basically in this corner here, dying of morphine poisoning. There is a note. I'm trying to find it. There was a note in his pocket. The police were notified. Bob Goods came out in his ambulance. It was too late. The crying need of an ambulance was once more demonstrated as the dying man was jolted over the pavements down to the receiving hospital. If there had been any chance for his life, that chance was shaken out of him. He was a stranger who probably came to him to die. He was a gambler, it looks like, and lost money, and he left his wife a note saying he was good enough for her. I will love you to my last breath. That was it. Also, at the other end of the cemetery down that way is buried John Gray. And John Gray, his wife had a brother. And they came to visit him late one evening. There were no fences at that time, around midnight. And they noticed him acting strangely and being sick. So his wife said, "My God, John, tell them what you've taken." And it was, anybody know? Daddy? Okay. Carbolic acid. Woohoo! Lovely way to go. All right, so we're going to continue on this way. And all right, this is Maddie McEwen. She's buried here, and Maddie's, I think on the side here, it's an NB. Maddie McEwen was 60 when she decided to end her life with morphine. She was ill. She had a disease. And gossip was that she was acting strangely. She was from San Francisco, and she came to Sacramento and checked into a hotel. Like a lot of these stories do, people check into a hotel where somebody doesn't know them. Where the next day she went to the undertaking parlors of Clark and Booth and made full arrangements for her funeral, even selecting the casket that she was going to be buried in. At the time, she stated that she had a premonition of impending death. She didn't say she was going to bring it on herself. She went to the lodging house and took the fatal dose of morphine that night. And and that was it. She had frequently threatened self-destruction due to continued bad health, which made her hopeless. And that is Maddie McEwen. And those things that I passed out there, the Maddie McEwen wine of Cardui medicine was 20% alcohol. Hood's sarsaparilla cured that tired feeling with its 18% alcohol. Tanlac was marketed as a tonic and system purifier that contained a mere 15.7% alcohol. Warner's Safe Cure, recommended for Bright's disease and other kidney conditions, contained 90 to 95% pure alcohol. That'd be hard on your kidneys. So, yeah. And after 1906, when they started having to label things, a lot of that changed. But it did take a while. It took like 20, 30 years for them to close the loopholes and get them to lower the alcohol and drugs in there. Or it took them a while to actually label things correctly, because they could still go on the radio and claim whatever, or in ads, so they had to go after some of these guys. But they only would fine them like $25, $100. So it was not all that effective in the early days.
Question.
Yeah, question.
I think it's basically, for lack of a better term, hit stores. Was that expensive in those days? Are most of these people teens?
I would say so. Probably the ones that have monuments. Maddie, you want to speak on that?
Honestly, I haven't found prices. I've seen old catalog pictures, like the Sears catalog. You could buy a headstone that way, and they weren't expensive. But some of the bigger ones, I'm sure, because they were hand carved, I'm sure they cost a lot.
And I guess there's a couple of people who come in.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, most of the plots have several people, and a lot of the areas that don't have headstones, there's people in here too. There's probably people under that cement area over there as well. So.
What about the open area over here? There's a lot of grassy open areas where they're just bodies down there and they don't know?
Probably.
Really?
There's lots of records over the years and different degrees of good or bad record keeping and floods and different things. So.
Nothing is open and available.
No, nothing new is available. If you're already a family member, then you can perhaps be buried here if your family already has a plot.
Eric?
Yeah.
There is a secondary market.
Oh yeah, if somebody wants to sell a spot in their plot, they can do that.
The archives are open, so if people wanted to stop in and visit after the tour.
Okay, yeah. The archives building right there is open today. If you want to stop in there, I think they do have water for sale, and they also have our archives and information if you're looking on somebody up. You can go in there. We're going to continue on down this way.